Okay, well, welcome to Morning Flow. Today, we will focus on our hands and feet, not exclusively working hands and feet, of course, because everything's connected. We'll get some other parts in there too, but that'll be the focus or theme today is hands and feet, parts of our bodies that do a lot for us and maybe we don't do very much for them. But we'll start out just in a seated position. You don't have to sit just the way I'm sitting. If this is comfortable, great. If not, sit in the way that's comfortable for you. Sometimes, if you have yoga blocks, it's nice to sit on a block or even two and sit on the forward edge of your support to let your pelvis tip forward. When somebody told me to sit on two blocks instead of one, I thought she was crazy, but it does make a difference. So sit in a way that's comfortable to you. Maybe it looks like this, maybe it doesn't. And do what you want with your hands. They might be palms down for grounding or palms up for receptivity. Close your eyes if you like. Notice your breathing. Allow it to slow down and get deeper. Observe the movements of your breathing and the sensations that come with those movements. And start to extend your noticing outward from this central focus of breathing to notice whatever else there is to notice. Take in what's going on in your body right now. Scan yourself head to toe, making particular note of anything you would deem negative, anything unwanted, stiffness, some soreness somewhere. You might think of sending your breath into those trouble spots to help them out. And also make mental notes of any such issues so that you can take care of yourself during practice, exercising the freedom to skip or modify any portion of this practice to find your way to the practice that's best for you. You're always welcome to do something different, to do more than I'm doing, to do less than I'm doing, especially if that choice is to accommodate some stiffness or soreness you've got going on. It's okay to gently probe against resistance when we encounter it. We don't want to try to push through something painful, back away from the pain, because that's an important signal your body is sending to you. And whenever your mind wanders, as it inevitably will, just gently bring your attention back to your breathing, back to noticing what's going on in your body. So these are our shared intentions. And you might be in the practice of having a personal intention for your own practice, something more specific, something more personal to you. And if so, now's the time to think about that, let it come together in your mind and take root for a few breaths. I like to keep my intention to a single word. It helps me remember it. Always simplify. With our intentions in place, let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths before we begin to move around. In through your nose and out through your mouth with a sigh. Let your eyes open up if they're still closed. And let's start with the hands. Reach your right hand out in front of you with your palms up. You're going to take hold of your pinky with your left hand. We're going to do this one breath per finger like this. Inhale, gently draw out. And exhale, gently draw down, opening your palm and your wrist. Over to the ring finger. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, draw it out. Exhale, draw it down. Just to whatever degree of stretch feels okay for you. Maybe your hand doesn't go as far as mine's going. Maybe it goes further. And then we switch hands after the thumb. Same thing. 5 more breaths, one per finger. And then we'll go to the feet. So if you are sitting on some props, come off your props down to the floor here. Take a leg, doesn't matter which one, maybe just the one that's in front, and hold it by the shin. Maybe hold under, whatever grip works for you. You want to support the weight of the leg and intertwine your fingers in between all your toes. Ball of the foot in your palm. And make some slow, gentle circles, letting your foot hang limp and letting your arm do the work of just exploring this rotation of the ankle. Take some circles in each direction. And then with both arms, cradle your leg in some fashion. Again, maybe this grip works for you, maybe another grip. Hold the weight of the leg, let the leg hang slack in the hip socket, and make some circles, rocking your femur around in the hip socket. Making some circles in each direction. Let your leg down, bring the other one in front. Grab those toes, all the fingers in between. Not easy getting them all in there, especially that little toe, the little finger. Make some circles with your ankle. In each direction. Don't mind the sound effects. That's tendonitis, I'm told. The popping doesn't hurt. The joys of aging. Release your toes, cradle your leg, and make big, gentle circles with your leg. Taking some in each direction. And let the leg down. Find grounding in your seat again. We've been wobbling a bit while we do that. Rest your hands on the ground out at your sides, maybe just your fingertips, so we stay long in the spine. Think of the crown of your head reaching up towards the ceiling. Inhale, raise your right arm up alongside your ear. As you exhale, let your arm drape over your head. Let the weight of your arm gently bring your head to the right. And if you like, you could get more extension by lifting your left hand and reaching out through your fingertips. So not a lot of height, just helping this side of your neck, the trapezius muscle, lengthen out a bit. If you go up higher, it starts to get shorter. So it's just a little height and more of a reaching out through the fingers. If you have raised your left hand, let it down. Now let your neck stay passive. Let your right hand slide across your head Come down to your cheek and let your arm lift your head back to center, giving your neck a break. Get your hand down. On an inhale, raise your left arm. Exhaling, let your arm drape over. Nice and gently bring your head to the left. And if you like, raise your right hand, reach out through your right fingertips. If your right hand is raised, let it down. Let your left hand slide across and slide down and nudge your head back to center. Walk your right hand out behind you. Bring your left hand across to your right leg. Maybe just fingertips on the floor here, staying long in the spine. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, invite your body to twist some more, working your way up from the waist. And on each exhale, asking if there's a little more twist to be had. See how much feels like enough. You don't necessarily have to go as far as you can. Let yourself unwind, come back through center. Walk your left hand behind you and bring your right hand across. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, see about deepening the twist. Let yourself unwind, come back through center, and come up onto your hands and knees. Let your hands open way up. Feel your whole palms grabbing that mat. Bring your shoulders above your wrists and your hips above your knees. And we'll take some breaths with cow pose and cat pose. Inhale, bring your heart forward, let your head and tailbone go up. Exhale, bring your heart up, let your head and tailbone come down. Follow the pace of your own breath. And if you want to, bring the feet into this movement. You can vary it by curling your toes under as you come to cow and uncurling your toes as you come to cat. Maybe play with that. Get a nice stretch of the feet and the calves. I know cows don't have toes. But I do know that bringing my feet into that movement feels good for me. Maybe it feels good for you. And after your next exhale, come back to table. And then curl your toes under. Let me spin again. You want to curl your toes under. Walk your hands in towards your knees. And then I want you to sit back towards your heels. Now I'm saying towards. I'm going to sit on my heels because I can and because it feels good. You don't have to sit on your heel. This is a lot of sensation in your feet. And you get to regulate how much sensation you get in your feet by how high or how low you're sitting. So if coming down too low is too much, you could be way up here. Anywhere in this range, listen to your feet, find your level of sensation that you want. You could also put a prop here between your heels and your seat, like a spacer. You could do that with a folded blanket or a bolster or a throw pillow if you don't have a block. Me and my feet like this, so I'm going to do that. And we're going to do some work with the hands and arms while we stretch the feet. You can always change the height of your seat. Inhale, raise your arms up overhead, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlace your fingers, reach your palms forward. Inhale, raise your arms. Exhale, lower them down in front again. Draw your hands to heart, up through center line. Exhale, out and down. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, up, out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlace your fingers the other way. Flip your palms forward. Raise them up. Come back down. Hands to heart. Up through center. Out and down. One more. Doing some real thorough stretching in the feet. Hands to heart. Interlace. Reach forward. Reach up. Lower down. Hands to heart. Up through center. Out and down. Now the best part is the counter pose. Tip onto your hands. Flip your feet over so the tops of your feet are on the mat. And bang your feet on the floor. And that is my very favorite thing that I've ever learned in yoga, I think. So invigorating on the feet. Let's step the left foot up between the hands. Step the right foot up to meet it. Come to forward fold. Soft knees, sway back and forth. Options here, your hands might hang in the air or drag on the ground. They can come to some blocks for support. That might be nice. You can also hold your elbows with your hands or clasp your hands behind your head for some neck traction. I've had an issue going on in my lower back the past week or so, so I'm resting my hands on my blocks and using them as a more active support. My default is usually just fingertips dragging on the ground. So we sway back and forth, letting the back of the body lengthen here. If you're holding your elbows or clasping your hands behind your head, let your arms hang down again. And gently nod your head yes. And shake your head no. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold down. Inhale, roll to standing, hands up overhead. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Let your hands hang at your sides. Raise your right shoulder up towards your ear. Shift it back and let it down. And your left shoulder up and back and down. Inhale, reach out toward the walls. As you exhale, reach for your shoulder blades and hug yourself. Or if you like, take eagle arms. Intertwine your arms, press your palms together. If you're taking eagle, reach your elbows and hands up and out away from you. Inhaling, spread your wings. Exhale, cross your arms the other way, grabbing your shoulder blades or taking eagle. Breathing into the space between the shoulder blades, the back of your heart. Inhale, spread your wings. Exhale, let your arms come down. Inhale your arms out and up overhead. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms up. Look up at your hands and lift up your heart. Back up to center. Inhale. Exhale, bend to the right. Feel full length through both arms. Try not to lift your left heel or let your left shoulder curl forward past your left knee. Inhale to come up through center. As you exhale, bend to the left. Keeping the right heel down, keeping the right shoulder back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, let your arms come out and down. We'll start into some sun salutations. Inhale your arms out and up. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Make your way from forward fold to plank. Now, a quick note on what I'm doing here. I'm varying this. Usually, traditionally, we'll step back from forward fold to plank. I am walking my hands forward instead of stepping my feet back, and I'm just doing that for the sake of the camera, and my distance from it is when I stand at the top of my mat, my head is cut off from the screen. So I start my sun salutations closer to the back end of the mat. And that's a long time in plank, but I like to spend some extra time in the first plank so you really find that plank shape. Let's exhale, slowly lower all the way down, elbows in close. How slow can you go? Let everything touch down. Uncurl your toes. Inhaling, press into your hands, lift your head and chest, maybe just the low cobra to start. So each time we go through, choose your heart opener, whatever height is right for you. Listen to your lower back to determine whether you want low cobra, higher cobra, anywhere in that range, or upward dog with knees lifted. They're all heart openers. They're all good. So maybe on the first one, we're way down here. And to go to our first downward dog, let's go gently and pass through table. Exhale, push back through table, curl your toes under, press into your feet to lift your knees, press into your hands to lift your tail, downward dog, and walk your dog. Pedal to your feet up and down, heels growing closer and closer to the floor. You might even, as you lift your heel, rock onto the top of your foot for some additional foot stretching. So as one heel goes down, the other toes fold over. It feels really nice in the feet and the lower leg. You might also play with lifting both heels at once and maybe coming onto your toes. Make your way from down dog to forward fold. Again, I'm doing this differently. I'm walking my hands back to my feet. You may be walking your feet to your hands like we traditionally do. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, come down. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. And exhale, hands down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, come down. Make your way to your plank. When you're ready, on an exhale, lower, maybe just halfway down this time. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, back and up. Make your way from down dog to forward fold once more. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, come down. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands down. We're going to come into a high lunge. Step your right foot forward and come up on the ball of your left foot, the back foot. We want all 10 toes aimed in the same direction. You're going to do a rocking movement in the hips. We want to keep the knees safe. So you're going to sink in your hips and go like this. Want both knees tracking that way. If the back foot is turned, you start to go down. Now the knee's off to the side. That's not very safe for your knee. It's not very good support and you can hurt your knee. If at any point the high lunge is too much, you can also drop this knee down and maybe even uncurl those toes and make the same movement with your hips rocking forward and back. We'll add the arm movement into that hip movement. Bring your arms up. If it's too wobbly, maybe one hand stays here on your leg. Exhale, sink forward, lower your arms. Inhale, glide back up. And the movement with the legs can be as big or small as you want. So it's a lot of work that back foot is doing. On the top of the movement, we'll twist, reach your right hand forward, reach your left hand back, twist to the left, come back through center, and twist to the right. Come back through center, bring your hands to your heart, big push off that back foot, step forward, maybe it takes more than one step, and then step your right foot back, find your high lunge, find steadiness in your feet and legs before we start rocking. Now on this side, I'm going to do the lower lunge because of the back issue that I mentioned earlier. So what I'm doing to take care of that side of my lower back. Exhale, sink forward, lower your arms. Inhale, glide back and up. Now in the higher lunge, you want to be mindful too of keeping the knee above or behind the ankle. When you're in the lower lunge, it's okay to let your knee go forward past your ankle. But when you have the center of gravity up higher, sending your knee forward past your ankle, it's not so good for your knee. You can hyperextend your knee that way. And let's twist to the right. Come back through center and twist to the left. Come back through center. Bring your hands to your heart. Step off the back foot. Come forward. Grab a sip of water whenever you need one. I need one right now. Because of all the talking, the teachers tend to drink more, right? Okay. We'll start into some warrior poses. With your hands at your heart, step your right foot forward, and then turn your left foot outward at about a 45-degree angle. And think of railroad tracks. One foot gets, each foot gets a track. So maybe you're taking up the whole width of your mat. Bend into the front knee a little. Back leg is long and strong. Grounding into the outer edge of the back foot and the ball of the front foot. Bring your arms up. Relax your shoulders down. Turn your pinkies in towards each other. Try to make that a little more camera friendly. Now you can see your hands. Warrior one, good. And some variation now. Bring your elbows down to your rib cage. Lower your forearms parallel to the ground. Inhale, slide your hands out. Exhale, bring them to the front, keeping the elbows in. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Bring your hands onto your hips. Pivot the back foot open so it's perpendicular to the front foot and slide the line behind the front foot. Maybe deepen your stance. My body likes a deeper stance when I come to warrior two. Square your shoulders over your hips, facing the longer edge of your mat. Reach your arms out to the sides and look over your right fingertips. And we'll take some rotation with the arms. Inhale, rotate, arms up. Exhale, rotate forward again. If it helps you get more rotation, you can bend your elbows. Feel for your shoulder blades sliding up and down your back. And then turn just your right palm up. We'll reverse warrior. Inhale, tip back and reach up. Right hand up above your face. Left hand resting lightly on your left leg. Coming to your left hip for support. Plus sliding across your low back in a half bind. Reverse warrior. Exhale, tip forward. Right forearm lightly to right thigh. Left arm reaches overhead towards the top of the mat. Try not to dump your weight into this arm and this leg. Get your core hold you up. You can make circles with the top arm if you like. Rock the shoulder open. To play with more core engagement, you might bring the bottom arm to the side or to the front. See how that feels. We'll do a little warrior dance from Side angle pose here to reverse warrior. Inhale, tip back, reach up. Exhale, tip forward, reach forward. It can be helpful to track the right hand with your eyes as you go back and forth. Lower body staying in about the same position, letting the core do the work as the upper body dances. Inhale up to warrior two again. And we'll do a dance from warrior two to gentle warrior. Inhale straight the front leg, raise your arms, face the long edge of your mat. Exhale, lowering your arms, turn your head forward, bend your knee. Inhale up, exhale down. And we'll set up for a triangle pose. Straighten that front leg most of the way. Draw your left hip back. Slide your right hand forward. And then tip. So right hand comes down, left hand goes up. One hand stacked above the other. Bottom hand might be on the floor or hanging in the air, resting on your leg or resting on a block. 8 deep breaths. Bring your hand onto your left hip. Inhale, reach your other hand forward, stand up. Right hand to right hip. Pivot onto the ball of your back foot. We're back in a high lunge, and we step forward. Hands at your heart, step your right foot back. Find that 45-degree angle. Ground into the ball of your left foot. Pinky toe edge of your right foot. Bend your left knee a little. Reach your arms up. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears a little. Turn your palms back, pinkies in towards each other. Warrior one. Draw your elbows down against your rib cage. Lower your forearms parallel to the floor. Inhale, slide your hands out. Exhale, slide them forward. A few more breaths like that. Inhale and exhale. Bring your hands onto your hips. Pivot the right foot open more. Slide it in line behind the left foot. Maybe scoot your left foot forward. Square your shoulders above your hips. Extend your arms to the sides. Look over your left fingertips. Inhale, rotate back. Exhale, rotate forward. A few more breaths, a few more rotations back and forth. Then turn just your left palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior, tip back and reach up. Lower body remaining pretty still. Looking up at the left hand. Breathing deeply into the left side. Exhaling, tip forward, reach forward, find your side angle. If you like, rock that right arm in circles. If you like, explore extending your left arm to the side or forward. If you've moved your left arm, bring it back to your leg. Warrior dance, inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle pose. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up to warrior two. And we'll dance to gentle warrior. Inhale, glide up, turn your head. Exhale, glide down, turn your head forward again. Inhale. Exhale. Then from warrior two to triangle, straighten the front leg most of the way. Keep a little bend in your knee. Draw your right hip back. Slide your left hand forward and tip to find your triangle pose. Take those huge breaths into those wide open lungs. Bring your left hand to your left, no, bring your right hand to your right hip. Inhale, reach your right, left hand forward, stand up. Left hand to left hip. Pivot onto the ball of your right foot. Step forward. Drink as needed. And we'll play with some balancing now. Bring your hands to your heart. Shift your weight from one leg to the other with your feet on the floor. If you're on a thick mat, you might step off your mat. Having less cushion under your feet will make the balances easier. You're welcome to step over near a wall or a piece of furniture if you like to be able to grab onto something and help you balance. Set your gaze on something that's not going to move, something at eye level straight ahead. Bring the weight into your left leg, keeping the knee soft and responsive. Lift your right knee up. Open it out to the side like opening a door or a gate. And then you're going to bring your right foot to your left leg. Maybe your toes are on the ground, your heel on your ankle. That's one way to do tree pose. Knee tracking out to the side. Maybe the sole of your foot comes to your calf. Maybe to your thigh, but never to your knee. Don't want to push your knee sideways because your knee's not made to move like that. And anytime you need to, you can put your foot down and pick it up again. You can keep your hands at your heart or let the branches of your tree grow into whatever shape you like. You can play with binds here, stretching your hands up overhead, clasping elbows, clasping hands behind your head. So the foot and the knee are responsive. The tree's never really still. Maybe there's a little breeze, maybe there's a lot. But there's always these movements. We think of this as core work, but of course this foot and this leg is doing a lot too. Bring your hands back to your heart if they're doing something else. Pivot your knee forward. Reach your foot forward. And we're going to tip forward and land on that foot and lift the other foot. So tip forward, reach up and back, reach up and back through the other foot for warrior three. Picture making a footprint on the wall. Picture your body parallel to the ground. Putting the other foot to work. Now your hands can stay at your heart or reach back, reach out to the sides, or reach forward. If you've got blocks, you can have blocks standing at shoulder width. Rest your hand on the blocks. Explore different versions of warrior three. Maybe it's just one hand on the wall or the blocks. Maybe it's both. Exhaling, lower your foot. Inhaling, slowly stand. Shake out your legs. Shake anything else. You want to shake your arms, or to shake your face. Sometimes that becomes a little dance, and that's good too. When you're ready, bring your hands to your heart. Shift your weight back and forth again. Resetting your hips, regrounding your feet. Let your feet find their way under your hip sockets. Set your gaze. When you're ready, bring the weight into your right leg. Face your left knee. Open out to the side. Bring your foot to your right leg. And take whatever arm expression you like. Maybe it's the same thing you did before. Maybe it's something different. Maybe you explore several options. Maybe you reach out and tap the wall. That wasn't a tap. I think the playfulness is its own benefit. I laugh at myself. I wouldn't laugh at a student unless I see them laugh first. Make sure you're breathing all the trees in the air. If you fall, you're human. If you get up, you're a yogi. Bring your hands back to your heart if they're elsewhere. Pivot your knee forward. Reach your foot forward. And let your weight tip forward. Come land on the left foot. Raise the right foot with the torso tip down. And take whatever arm expression you like here. Hands at heart, hands to blocks, wall, furniture. or reaching back, or reaching out, or reaching forward. Thinking of that footprint you're going to make on the wall back there. Toes pointing down, heel reaching back. So like an ironing board, picture your body parallel to the ground. Even if you think it isn't, imagine it is, pretend it is. Exhale, slowly lower your leg. Inhale, slowly stand. And shake things out. And come on down and have a seat. We're already at that part of class, but it's time to get back to the ground. It's time for more water. Extend your legs forward in front of you and flex your feet back towards you. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold down towards your legs, and if your knees want to bend, let them bend. Explore using your breath to deepen the fold. As you inhale, think of the crown of your head reaching forward. As you exhale, think of lowering some more. Inhale and walk your hands up the front of your legs and sit up. Let your arms help your legs open out to whatever degree works for you, the edge of your comfort zone. Get the blocks out of the way. There we go. Let your arms help your legs bring your left foot over to your right thigh or right knee. If this doesn't feel good, this leg hanging in the air, you could slide a block under here. A lot of folks find that uncomfortable, so you can support the leg like that with a pillow or a rolled blanket as well. Pivot your body towards your right foot and flex your right toes back towards you. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold down over that leg. Explore deepening the fold with the breath for a couple rounds. Inhaling, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, think of your body lowering some more. And explore some movements now with the left arm. Bring your left hand in toward your heart, reach it out to the side, and then rotate. Thumb down, palm back. Fold your arm across your lower back and peel that left shoulder back. Turn your heart towards the sky. Extend your arm again. Rotate palm forward, thumb up. Reach your arm up. Arch it over your head towards that extended leg. So the shoulder's still peeling back. We're aiming at undoing compression in the middle lower back, right above the sacrum. So the shoulder comes forward. We're not getting so much into that area. We're getting into that hip now. Reach your arm up and out. Bring your hand back through center and over by the other hand. Walk your hands up your leg and sit up. Let your arms help extend the left leg. And bend the right leg, bring the foot over. Give it your torso. Flex the left foot back towards you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhaling, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhaling, maybe lower you some more. Slowly draw your right hand in, reach it out to the side. Rotate back. Fold your arm, cross your back, feel that shoulder back. Extend your arm again, rotate palm forward, reach your arm up and overhead towards the other hand, the extended leg. Bring your arm up, out, bring your hand in, back over, walk your hands up the leg, and sit up. Arms help the legs. Straighten this one out. Now bring your legs in and bring your feet together. Soles of the feet together, heels a good distance away from your pelvis. If you can, bring your hands under your ankles and grab the floor. If that doesn't work, reach over your ankles and grab the floor. And walk your hands forward using traction in your arms to come into this pretzel shape. Let your neck relax down. Let your head hang. Breathe into that space above your sacrum, middle of your lower back. Start to scoot your hands back. Press up to a seat again. You can use your hands. Help your heels come in as close as they can to your pelvis. Soles of the feet still together. Interlace your fingers. Grab the tops of your toes. Wriggle on your seat. Bring the bones in your seat closer to the floor. Tilt your pelvis forward. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Fold forward with a long spine. And when the long spine isn't lowering anymore, then let your neck disengage. Let your head bow. Breathe into your hips. Maybe press your elbows down against your legs, helping your hips open more. A lot of folks like that. Inhale, slowly sit up. Let your arms help your legs. Lift your knees towards each other. Rest your feet. Rest your hands out on the ground past your hips. Wiggle your feet further apart, maybe to the width of your mat. Let your knees go back and forth to whatever degree they will. Maybe they don't touch down like this. Maybe they do. And we'll set up to play with bridge pose. You want this much space between your feet. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can use your hands, one fist next to the other between the tops of the feet. It's about the width of the yoga block, which is about the width of that's between your hip sockets. It's about the same. You're going to bring your hands behind you, scoot towards your heels, lower onto your forearms and onto your back. So you want your heels as close to your butt as you can get them. Press into the soles of your feet. Inhale, lift your hips towards the ceiling. Bridge pose. With an exhale, slowly lower down. Now, if we want to play with taking that a little further, let's do it again. We're going to give a little more work for the feet. Inhale, press into the soles of your feet, lift your hips. Then at the top, can you lift your heels? Maybe just one at a time, maybe both. Maybe lower one, and as you raise it, lower the other. Sort of like that walking the dog movement we do in our first downward facing dog. Exhale, lower down. Explore bridge on your own for a minute as you like. So maybe it's a simple up and down with the hips, inhaling up and exhaling down. Maybe you play around at the top with moving your heels up and down. Maybe you want to take a supported bridge and you just slide a block under your sacrum and come to rest on top of your block. I find that lifting both heels at the top of the bridge is a great stretch for the calves. If
If you wanted to go further at the top of your bridge too, you might wiggle your shoulder blades in towards each other. Clasp your hands under you and reach your knuckles towards your heels. And even with that option, you can play with pedaling your feet up and down. One at a time, or both together. If wheel is in your practice, you might play with taking wheel here. Wherever you're at, let's wrap up our bridge exploration and the next few breaths. Let the next exhale down be the last one. And pause for a couple of breaths after you've landed. Then cross your left ankle over your right knee. Make a figure four shape with your legs. Reach your arms out to the sides. Let your legs fall to the right and turn your head to the left, keeping your shoulders grounded and not worrying about how far your legs go. Slowly bring your head and your legs back through center and switch up the cross of your legs. Right ankle over left knee. Let your legs fall to the left and turn your head to the right. Slowly come back to center. Uncross your legs. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Hug your knees. And rock and roll on your back, massaging it against the ground or whatever movements feel good to you. Front to back, side to side, moving in circles, moving more randomly, just drifting. And reach your feet up towards the ceiling. Reach your hands up to take hold of your legs or your feet, however you like. Play with happy baby pose. Or for another option, a little more stretching with the feet, focusing on the hands, you might put your toes in your palms and bring your fingers to the balls of your feet, and then play with bending and straightening your arms and legs this way. And kind of similar to gorilla pose, which is when we stand in a forward fold and lift the front of the foot, slide the hands under the feet, and lengthen the legs. So this is like a gorilla on her back instead of that standing pose that we call gorilla. It's still an inversion, of course, like happy baby, but we're getting in one little more moment on focusing on hands and feet. And there's no wrong way to explore movement. Maybe you move a little, maybe you move a lot. No matter how you move, your legs and your feet are getting some nice healthful drainage as we bring them higher than your heart. If there's a different inversion you would rather do, of course you can do it. When you feel complete with your inversion, you can make your way to your final resting pose, or if there's some other posture or movement you want to add in, feel free, whatever might help you feel more complete in your own practice. When you're ready, you can make your way to Shavasana, either traditional corpse pose with your legs extended, feet splayed open, hands resting out past the hips, palms up or pinky edges of the hands on the ground. But if this isn't comfortable, make yourself comfortable. And that can be whatever posture you like. Any shape you can be in to be comfortably still for a few minutes to breathe and absorb the benefits of your work. Or if your lower back doesn't enjoy lying flat in corpse pose, you might plant your feet and let your knees lean towards each other. Or you might bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees splay out. You might put blocks under the outside of your knees if you choose this to make it more passive. Let the blocks support the weight of your leg. You might focus on your breathing or reflect upon an intention you had set for yourself. Or just give your mind permission to wander off. Because doing that intentionally has a different effect than when we do it without meaning to. You're welcome to do your own thing internally, just as you were welcome to do your own thing when it came to the postures and movements we just shared. You're welcome to tune me out. You could turn your volume down, I wouldn't even know. But we like in Zoom Yoga to offer alternatives because not everyone enjoys just being quiet for a few minutes. You might scan your body as you did at the start of practice. Notice whatever there is to notice. What has changed from the way you felt at the start of this practice? What hasn't changed? Get curious. Just take in whatever information is there. Maybe you can't tell if there's been a change. There's no wrong or right. That's just something else to notice. This habit of observing yourself, cultivating what we call in yoga the witness self, like anything else, takes practice. And the more we do it, the better we can get at sensing differences, further developing mindfulness, making self-observation more of a habit. It will, over time, become more automatic. You might just check in with the various parts of your body to see that they're relaxing. Picture your own face. Picture your forehead. Is there a wrinkle there like you're thinking about something? Can you release that wrinkle and that thought? And check in with your jaw. Is it hanging slack? With a little space between your teeth, a little space between your lips. Is your tongue resting on the floor of your mouth, or is it engaged and you didn't realize it until I said that? Feel into every place you're touching the floor, your shoulder blades, elbows, hands, back, buttocks, legs, heels. Start to give yourself some deeper breaths. Let your body begin moving slowly, bit by bit. Maybe just wiggling your toes and your fingers, letting the movements lead gradually to bigger movements, rolling your ankles and wrists. And these are all just suggestions. It can be any movements your body seems to want. Maybe turning your head side to side, moving arms and legs more. When you're ready for bigger movements, a nice gentle way to sit up from corpse pose is to draw your knees towards your chest, extend your arms overhead, let the weight of your legs tip you onto one side and pause in a fetal position. And when you're ready from there, press your hands to the floor and make your way carefully up to a seat. There's no rush. If you like, bring your hands up by your heart. Thank you for sharing practice this morning. The light within me sees, honors, and bows to that same light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much. Please remember to visit our digital chit jar. Information is available at urbanyoga.org or at Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center page on Facebook, where you can help support us during our Zoom classes using PayPal or Venmo or Zelle. And I always welcome questions and feedback. That's not just for the people here with me live, but for those catching this later on YouTube. Feedback helps me be a better teacher, so I welcome your comments. Have a wonderful day.